What if burnout is not from working too much, but instead it's because your mind is fighting the very success that you're trying to create? Imagine you're driving your car, only the emergency brake is pulled, and the harder you press on the gas pedal, the more resistance you're going to feel until eventually the engine overheats and your car breaks down. That's exactly what burnout can feel like when your subconscious mind doesn't believe that success is safe. My name is Jess, and for the past decade, I've dedicated my life to understanding why is it that people get in their own way and sabotage the very things that they say they want. Now, I've worked with hundreds of women around the world to help them break free from self-sabotage. And what I've discovered is this. Most women don't have a strategy problem. They know what to do, and they're incredibly capable, smart, and determined women. What they're coming up against is themselves, the strongest person in the room. In this video, I'm going to show you why working harder isn't going to solve your burnout and how your subconscious mind may actually be creating it and what you can do today to release the emergency brake so that you can get to where you want to go faster and with a whole lot more ease. Imagine if all the energy you're spending fighting against yourself could be used to build your business. You'd get so much more done in less time. What we need to do is get the team inside here to work together instead of against each other. Burnout isn't just feeling tired, it's waking up exhausted, staring at your to-do list, knowing exactly what needs to get done, but feeling like every task weighs 100 pounds. I used to describe it like I'm running a marathon and I've lost track of the finish line. Most women think that they're burned out because they're doing too much. And while that might be true, especially for our mommies out there, I want to challenge that assumption. What if you're not exhausted because of the work, but because you're spending half of your energy fighting against yourself before you even begin the work? Today, I want to share with you 5 subconscious survival patterns that I see over and over again, especially in female entrepreneurs that I've helped. Now, before we talk about the subconscious, I want to say something important. As someone who myself, I've experienced burnout, the first thing I always recommend for anyone who's going through this is to rule out any health issues that could be contributing to your fatigue. Now, I used to drink 3 cups of coffee every single day, not realizing I was running myself into the ground. And once I got off caffeine and went through all the withdrawals, which are not fun, my energy started to come back. And I also noticed I wasn't nearly as on edge. Sometimes we can be so used to living in a state of fight or flight that we don't even realize what it feels like to not be in that state. And another thing to address is what you eat. It matters. What you put into your body is the fuel your brain and body have to work with. If you put poor quality fuel into your car, it isn't going to perform that well. The same is true for your body and mind. I truly believe that wealth is being healthy in mind, body, and spirit. And if you're unhealthy, I don't care how much money you're making, it's not true success in my eyes. But let's assume you've already addressed those things. You're sleeping, you're eating well, and you've ruled out any health issues or medical issues that could be getting in your way and causing your fatigue. And yet you're still exhausted. That's where I think we need to look deeper. Here are the 5 self-sabotaging behaviors that can cause burnout. The first one is your schedule is filled with busy work and you aren't prioritizing the important stuff. One of the biggest self-sabotaging things that I see is overworking and not doing what's truly important, the thing that's going to push everything forward in your business. It's doing everything except that one thing that matters the most. Trust me, I get it. There was a time when I would clean my entire house before I would reach out to potential clients. Yes, I was busy, but not with things that would bring in money. Maybe for you, it looks like writing that creative blog post or organizing your office or tweaking your website or reading another marketing book or making another to-do list. Your subconscious mind has you procrastinate on tasks that are super important and impactful because it believes that success is not safe. Maybe it feels that being seen will lead to criticism or judgment or rejection, so it has you focus on the tasks that you're familiar with, that'll keep you small, that'll keep you invisible because that's what feels safe. Your subconscious mind has one very important job, and this is its number one job, and that is to keep you safe. Your subconscious mind doesn't care about the quality of your life. It doesn't care about whether you're successful or healthy or happy or deeply in love. It only cares that you're alive. Your conscious mind, this part of your brain, cares about the quality of your life. It wants you to fulfill on your purpose and build your business and achieve your goals. Your subconscious mind simply wants to keep you safe. And it does that by keeping you stuck in the familiar, even when the familiar is no longer serving you in your business. It prioritizes what feels emotionally safe instead of what actually grows your business. And constantly fighting against yourself is what causes that burnout, and it's exhausting. The second self-sabotaging behavior that can lead to burnout is people pleasing. Many women learned early in life that love and connection comes from taking care of everyone else. Maybe you grew up in a household where you had to become the parent to your mother and or father, and instead of getting your own needs met, you learned to meet everyone else's needs. What your subconscious mind learned at a very young age was that other people's needs matter more than yours. For some women, they've been putting everyone else first for so long that they don't even realize that they have needs, let alone what their needs are. As a little one, in order to belong to your family and feel safe within your tribe, your subconscious mind made a decision. If I make everyone else happy and take care of them, they're going to want me around and I'll have love and connection and safety. Remember, as children, we depend on our families for survival. We need our family. This is our tribe. We need them to love us, accept us, so that they want to keep us around. So people pleasing is a survival adaptation that gets programmed into your subconscious mind. The problem is when you become an adult, the people pleasing survival pattern is still running in the background, which makes it very hard for you to say no. It becomes hard to set boundaries. You feel guilty putting yourself first. Maybe you're lowering your prices because you don't want to disappoint your clients. Or you take on more work than you can realistically handle. Or you overdeliver and overgive because you want people to like you. Eventually, you become exhausted and resentful. And then you sit there wondering, why am I so burned out? The truth is, you're not just burned out from the work. You're burned out from abandoning yourself over and over and over again. And every time you ignore your own needs to meet someone else's, you're sending your subconscious mind the message that everyone else matters more than you do. And after years of abandoning yourself, it's no wonder you feel exhausted. Burnout isn't just the result of doing too much. It can also be the result of giving so much of yourself away that there's nothing left for you. Now, the third self-sabotaging behavior that can lead to burnout is perfectionism. Perfectionism isn't about having high standards, although you might tell yourself that it is. More often than not, it is your subconscious mind trying to protect you from criticism, failure, rejection, or making a mistake. As an entrepreneur, the last thing you want to do is try to make something perfect the first time around. Your first draft isn't supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be the first draft. You make it, you put it out there, you test it with your audience, and you see what works and what doesn't work, and you make adjustments. You update it, and then you put it back out there and test it again. Think about a sculptor. They don't just take one swing with the hammer and make this beautiful statue. And they chip away at it a little bit by a little bit until it becomes what they envisioned. They make adjustments along the way, and your business should be working the exact same way. But with perfectionism, what happens is your subconscious mind says, nope, it has to be perfect because everyone is going to see it. And that's where we get ourselves into trouble. So instead of spending 30 minutes on something, you spend 3 hours, maybe 3 weeks. Everything takes a lot longer. Everything requires more emotional energy. And when you spend all that time and emotional energy on something, you get more invested. And when your audience isn't into it, you feel resentful as if they're rejecting you. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to get it done, get it out there, make adjustments along the way, and don't take it personally. The fourth self-sabotaging behavior that can lead to burnout is not being able to rest. Many women tell me they feel guilty for resting. The reason is because somewhere along the way, their worth became tied to their productivity. Their subconscious mind learned that if I am doing and doing and doing, then I'll be enough. So when their body is begging them to slow down and rest, Their subconscious mind is telling them to keep going and going and going. Maybe you've said things to yourself like, I'll rest after I finish this one thing. But then that one thing turns into 5 things and then 10 things. And then before you know it, another day has gone by and you're not resting, you're not recharging. And eventually it's going to get to a point where your body will say, enough is enough. If you don't choose to rest, I'm going to do it for you. And then we end up with things like chronic fatigue. That's why it's so important to help your subconscious mind feel safe, slowing down and resting. Rest is how your body heals and recovers, so you have the energy to keep building your business so that you can have a positive impact on the lives of the people who do matter to you. We need to get that oxygen mask on you first on the airplane before you help other people get it on. You know that's you. So the fifth self-sabotaging behavior that can lead to burnout is hyper independence. Now, many women believe they have to do everything themselves. Chances are you grew up in a home where you couldn't depend on your caregivers. Maybe you learned early on that no one was coming to help you. So your subconscious mind adapted to that. And it said, no one's coming for me, and I'm going to have to do this all on my own. And maybe that survival strategy served you as a little girl, but now you're building a business. And as an adult woman, this hyper independence can come across as never asking for help or never delegating any work or trying to wear every hat in your business, believing that the only way to get something done right is to do it yourself. Now, I completely understand, especially if you're just starting off in business and you're a solo entrepreneur, most of everything you're doing is going to have to be done by yourself. But there comes a point where that survival strategy starts to work against you instead of for you. And that's the time when it needs to be updated. So think about like trying to build a house by yourself. You could do it, maybe, but imagine how much faster and how much better it would be if you employed people that knew how to do things better than you. For instance, an electrician, a plumber, a roofer, a carpenter, and they're helping you to build the house. That's the same thing with your business. There comes a point where you simply can't continue to grow in the ways that you want to grow without extra help. You need someone to help you see your blind spots so you can get out of your own way. Otherwise, you're going to end up exhausting yourself trying to climb up all these hills that you don't need to climb. So just to recap, I don't think burnout is simply just the result of doing too much work. I think burnout often comes from spending years fighting against yourself. Your conscious mind, right back here, which makes about 5% of your mind. It wants you to have a successful business and achieve your goals and create the life that you've always dreamed of. Your subconscious mind back here, which makes up about 95% of your mind, has a completely different job. It wants to keep you safe. And the easiest way it knows how to do that is by keeping you stuck in the familiar, even if what's familiar is overworking, people-pleasing, perfectionism, not being able to rest, and being hyper-independent. The good news is this: burning out doesn't have to be a part of your experience if you don't want it to be. Your subconscious mind isn't your enemy. It's the part of you that's been pulling the emergency brake this whole time, and it's not trying to ruin your life. This part of you, she's trying to protect you. The problem is she's protecting you from a version of life that no longer exists. She's learned those survival strategies years ago, and she's doing this job that she was hired to do when you were little. But the goal isn't to get rid of her. She's a very hard worker. She's super powerful. We've seen this. The fact that she can make you as exhausted as you feel means that she is tenacious and a hard worker. So imagine if we got her to work for you instead of against you. The goal isn't to fire her. It is to promote her to a job that will serve you. Instead of pulling the emergency brake every time you want to start moving forward in your business and having success, imagine if she's sitting next to you in the driver's seat and she's helping you navigate how to get to your destination faster, right? And she's telling you, go this way to avoid traffic, take that road instead of this one. Imagine what's going to happen when you stop fighting yourself and you stop wasting so much time and energy. And instead, that part of you, she's helping you to be more successful. The whole team in here starts moving forward in the same direction. And when that happens, building your business doesn't just become easier, it becomes a whole lot more enjoyable. So if you want to learn more about the subconscious mind and how it gets programmed, you can go ahead and check out this video here.